Yay! Attacked in the night again. Think current selection's still fine? Oh, moons once it waxes and wanes. Oh, water once it overflows. For all lights must go out, the night is still. It's time. Sharpen your senses. Hey, what are some known infiltration routes in this building that our enemies could use? Anywhere, really. As long as the assassin's willing to put their mind to it. There was a time when one of them suddenly appeared from under my bed. That sounds kind of terrifying. Ryoshu, who was leisurely puffing her cigarette as the sinners were looking around in full alert, suddenly pointed up. Up. Ceiling, someone just landed above us. Oh, so they're hiding in the ceiling. There must be more waiting for us just out the door. Helena spoke casually as though he was expecting to have them join us for tea or something. Impressive, you're pretty sharp. Oh, okay, so this is where the Heisho She-Pack comes in play. The sinners all whipped around and swung their weapons towards the voice, but... or maybe not. The assassin dodged back with ease while chugging from a gourd in his hand. Wait, that smells like... is that not drinking on the job? Give me a break, I'm an old guy on a night shift. I say I deserve a drink. Argus' young master G about you. Just kill him quick and call it a night. That the enemies began flooding into the room. I thought we were going to get some Heisho Shi, but these don't. Furtive, Podao assailant. Let's. Okay, not the group I was anticipating. Just based on ID, as we've already done. I will say, if we don't meet Shi units, I'm less upset with them having revealed the Gregor Village. Like, if that's just, hey, we get IDs that are the Snake Heishos, I think that, like, as ideas that exist are things that exist in the world, but we didn't outright see in the story, that's still somewhat more interesting. And feels less spoilery, because that's my main issue with some of these sometimes, is, hey, we didn't see that yet. Granted, they were getting better about it with, in the last chapter, last canto, this season. Granted, I think Priest Gregor got spoiled for different reasons in advance, but... being spoiled for a different reason is still better than the game itself. Spoiling it, hey, here's your new IDs. You haven't met them yet.
지금 시계를 돌리기엔 촉박할 테니 다른 수를 생각해야 할 겁니다, 관리자. 쓸모없어진 놈은 후퇴시키는 것. 숨통 끊기. 대성공이야. 가름 신나. 노래할까?
No, this also did kind of explain that no one else is aware of how we did. Granted, it does also... there's like a slight asterisk to that, because there was a fight before Halloween reveals himself as a candidate. Nobody noticed the rewind of the clock from after that fight? Are we just gonna pretend I did that fight perfect and no one got, like, severely injured? Despite the fact that everyone got poisoned and at least a few got staggered off of that. This group is some poise, motherfuckers, is what I'm also noticing.
끝내지.
Which I kind of use more poise if we get some ideas with him. Most of my poise are blade lineage.
끝내지. 죽어. 끝내지.
더 이상 얻을 정보는 없군요.
좋아. 생동감이 살아있는 좋은 공간이 됐군. 다음 먹잇감도 이런 식이었으면 좋겠어.
최선을 다해 임하겠습니다.
Oh, it's even fixed slot 1.
의심, 암귀, 불안과 공포 그런 것들이 들끓을 때가 가장 취약하죠. 알아듣겠습니다.
Haven't hit the level yet, but might be getting there.
이라는 것입니다. 관찰은 끝났습니다. 그간의 전투 경험이 쓸모가 없지 않군요.
잠깐만 기다렸다.
적합한 조치였습니다.
Come on! Ah, dang it. Shit! Donkey got wrecked there.
깔끔하게.
승객이 딱콩 한 번 먹었어.
부서지 천천히 깎군요.
적출할게요.
숨통 끊기.
승객들, 뭔가 기분 좋은 일이라도 있었던 거야?
Dang, I'm still short envy.
헤어내리.
상정리의 공격이었으니 이것까지 당신 탓을 할 순 없겠군요. 설마 알고 맞게 하진 않았을 테니.
명령대로.
숨통 끊기.
전투 감각 하나만큼 수감자가 되어도
관찰해.
훌륭하군. 이제 그
끝났습니다.
도통 알아들을 수 없는 말투만으로 지독했어.
아직 죽지 말고.
제대로 들어갔습니다.
Let the music shift.
깔끔하게. 모든 업은 다시 돌아와. 네 머리 위에 내려줄 것이다.
단숨에
밖에서 맡고 있는 꼴을 보니 그다지 유쾌하진 않군. 관리자, 수감자를 무방비하게 만들지 마십시오.
적출할게요.
불쌍하게 울고주는 부서진 흰차익 같군요. 더 이상 얻을 정보는 없군요.
밖에서 맡고 있는 꼴을 보니 그다지 유쾌하진 않군. 관리자, 수감자를 무방비하게 만들지 마십시오. 그래, 그렇게 시원하게 처리하니 보는 맛이
여행은
나는군.
목적이
Yeah, it
있었지.
might be starting to hit the point where I need to actually level people.
답답한 법이지.
관찰은 끝났습니다.
대성공이야. 칼은 신나. 노래 부를까?
진짜
Oh no, they exploded.
즐거워. 이 전투는 승리할 거예요.
Well, other people got healed.
완전히 녹아내렸네.
Oh, last round. We're good. We're fine. Now we have this dude. Yeah. What? Still working on it.
이전 사이와라는 놈도
Seems we're all continually underestimated by our foes.
생각보다 우리를
Gee,
허접하게
you
계산하는
made the same mistake.
이
You
정도
didn't seriously
숫자로
think that
우리를
we'd be
정복시킬 수
defeated
있을
by
거로
such a
생각했나?
pathetic force, did you? Ow, ow, pipe down, you're giving me an early hangover. And don't you compare us to that little troublemaker of the Shi family, will you?
조심하세요, 오티스.
Be careful, Otis. His combat capabilities are leagues beyond those of his companions.
혼자서 여유를 부릴
So that's why he's so sure of himself, I see.
소속과 이름을 밝혀.
Identify your name and allegiance. Really? You think I just tell you all that if you just ask nicely? Work in this line of business, hey. I have no name nor allegiance to give you, friend. Though I have no name to give you, I have a title that others took the liberty of giving me. You tend to pick up one or two of those after surviving for so long. He who emerges with a liquor bottle only to face into the nightly shadow, and the world has deigned him to call him Night Drifter of the Drunken Palm. And we are in a focus fight, which I'm actually probably gonna find a bit easier. If I could clash with any of you. Okay, you're at Honglu, which, oh god, that doesn't help much. That actually felt necessary. You went over first. You can make that one.
적출할게요.
그간의 전투 경험이 쓸모가 없진 않았군요. 적합한 위치였습니다.
끝났습니다.
승객이 딱콩 한 방 먹였어.
의심, 암귀, 불안과 공포 그런 것들이 들끓을 때가 가장
And
취약하죠.
we're to the no one can clash with
지금이
Sweater.
적기라는 것입니다.
흑승류, 빈박질 춤. 불쌍하게 울고지.
You do bleed. I'm very curious as to who's gonna get the Drunken Master ID. It feels like something that will be one. And honestly, I would have given it to Roja, but she just got a sheet.
평소처럼 넉살 좋게 같이 상황을 개선해 보시지.
끊기.
Okay, we're finally in some better clashes against this guy.
그런 빙글빙글.
Well, no evade happened there, I guess.
지금 시계를 돌리기엔 촉박할 테니 다른 수를 생각해야 할 겁니다, 관리자. 쓸모 없어진 놈은 후퇴시키는 것도 좋겠죠.
명령대로.
불쌍하게 울부짖는군.
모든 결과들은 파우스트가 알아요.
색색이 황홀하고 아예 기억 못하게 하려는 길이구려.
Oh, you're weak to Pierce. Okay. Well, if I feel like I fail this entirely, then I can also just swap to a more Pierce-centric
다른 수를 생각해야
party.
할 겁니다, 관리자. 쓸모 없어진
Granted, I say that, but don't you?
후퇴시키는 것도 좋겠죠.
Or is it not? No, it says slash.
적출할게요.
가치 없군. 죽어. 불쌍하게 울부짖는. 이거 부끄럽군.
수감자를 고기 조각으로 만들어 봐야 당신만 괴로울 텐데. 시계를 돌리는 일에 너무 익숙해진 것 아닙니까?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna restart this.
그림자 속으로 가라앉게.
그간의 전투 경험이 쓸모가 없진 않았군요. 그런데 적합한 조치였습니다.
Okay, bye, Donkey. Good lord. you're staggered.
자, 이쪽입니다.
Not the best he could use, but one I had.
승객들, 뭔가 기분 좋은 일이라도 있었던 거야?
Oh, hello, of course.
사격 개시.
좋아. 잠깐만.
Okay. This seems like it's
나만의 항해 방식.
winnable. Until something new gets thrown out and just wrecks me.
그래서 카론이 안전벨트 잘하라고 했잖아.
Maybe to you there. There we go.
흑승.
Spaced.
뜀박질 중. 자! 숨통 끊기.
승객이 딱콩 한 방 먹였어.
I'm sorry, did I not get to have my classes with everyone?
타겟 포착. 1시간. 다음 세상으로 넘어가려면 자, 여기구나. 좋아. 잠깐만. 근본적인 소리. 가급적 전투 중에 떠올리지 않았어.
있었으면 좋겠는데.
Okay, looks like we're doing strong. Okay. Oh, you're next, and the last one.
주인도 지키지
How
못한
strangely confident you are for someone who has failed to protect her master. He doesn't know that the sinners can come back from death. Well, now that I've claimed young Master Value's life, I should be free to clock out. There's no coming back from a crushed brain. Real shame. Had he studied under my tutelage, he could have almost matched me in skill. And the intruder disappeared from the room without another word. And after a brief break, I revived the dead sinners. Just who could have possibly sent him?
가치우라는 놈이 보낸 거 아니야?
Could be that Giacomo bloke from earlier. You saw the way he was glaring at the rich boy. He wasn't the only one glaring daggers at Honglu, you know.
야, 괜찮냐?
Boy, you alright? If your brain's feeling funny, ask him to turn the clock again. No, it's just that this feeling's new to me. Whenever I was attacked in here, this building felt so infinitely vast. But now that I'm here with all of you, it feels so crowded and alive. And that's funny how. Well, I imagine he's saying that he's happy we've got his back, to paraphrase. He's not alone and isolated and being potentially murdered. I almost thought that would be the end of it. Young Master, I brewed some new air tea. Would you imbibe some before departing? No way. Honglu, remember how the envelope we received yesterday was torn open? Refuse it.
저는 괜찮아요. 내와줘.
I'm hitting my limits soon. I've gone much longer than last time, though. I'm okay. I'd love some tea, Jiren. Thank you. Yes, young master. Honglu sips Jiren's tea. Hey, that tea could be poisoned. I know we have Dante here, but you're being too reckless. I wasn't being reckless on account of having Dante around. If I was, and if it really had been poisoned, I would be needlessly hurting Dante in the process. I just... Even if she's become a lot less friendly, Jiren's still Jiren, so I thought it would be okay. That's when I realized that Jiren's odd change of character was not reminiscent of those we'd seen earlier in the back streets of District 8. Jiren went through a lot of revivals, didn't she? Yes. She's my closest maidservant, and she was on the most expensive version of life insurance. So when you say Jiren's still Jiren, you mean that her memories are intact. Yep. Life insurance doesn't actually decay your brain, but still, you'll slowly erode away, like a stone weathering mercilessly gusts and rainstorms. The memory shrinks and slowly loses its definitions, until the form itself is lost. It only leaves the faint sensation that the stone was once there, until it was no more. But I hope that faint sensation remains a warm remembrance to Jiren at least. Jiren quietly cleared the tea. We could not tell if she had heard Honglu, or if she cared at all if she did. Regardless, we left her to her job and made our way to the palanquin that was waiting to take us to the round 2 venue.
사활을 건 전쟁을 앞두고 있을 때
When marching out to meet your foes in deadly war, normally most sinners would have laughed at Otis off for being overdramatic, but today they were all listening intently to her every word. We've all had several close run-ins with the candidates and their factions, and even the formidable Heysel pack. Those experiences were more than enough to convince us that this was the time to take her seriously.
정보에 대해 알아내는
We
것이
must first learn as much as possible about our primary foe, the ones that pose us the greatest threat, if you will, and that is Jiekui.
그자에 대해 아는 대로 정보를 말해보자.
So let's list everything we've learned about that individual so far.
사람의 목을 들고 아무렇지 않게 경고한다고.
Well, he has no problem with bloodying his own hands. Remember how he grabbed those decapitated heads. And we know that he's tried to ensure that both our team and G2 teams wouldn't participate in the family hierarchy war. We are also aware that he is flanked by Shi Li, a mighty Heysel, and Zigong, a strategist.
더군다나 어제 보낸 자격도
And it seems he was the one who sent the assassins from last night too, right?
여러모로
I don't know.
해야 할 인물은 확실한 것
If he did, it was more the strategist call, but I could also assume so many other people would have also. Ji-jun is like the only one that is trust. Because she's just very Sunni. And we know he's definitely wary of us, so we should also stay on guard. Granted, how about the bigger elephant in the room? The one who already wanted to kill Hong Lu on sight way back from Canto VIII. And we all know by now Dongguan is led by 4 ancient and great houses, the Jia, the Shi, the Zhu, and the Wang. Ever since the time before my own birth, its place was a den of political intrigue, a jungle where a single misstep could spell your death. Today the Jia family holds the most power and influence among the 4, which means that I was at the top of the world, afforded a life of luxuries and leisure. The kind of envious life that everyone looks up to and aspires to obtain. But Big Brother Ki was beneath even the rock bottom of the same world. Rock bottom, a metaphor for Audai, perhaps. If it isn't, then I presume he's simply implying that someone pushed Jiekui to the depths. Yes, many hands pushed him toward the cliff, until there was no more room for him back up to, till his only remaining choice was to plummet. Brother Ki is the last surviving descendant of the annihilated Kong family. Huh? Then his surname was Jia, was it not? His mother was from the Kong family. How? His hand was probably one of the many that... My hand was probably one of the many that pushed him off the cliff. I don't think you're the kind of person to do something like that, Hong Lu. No need to make excuses for me. Envy and jealousy came about from my grandmother and the elders' favoritism. And where there is a zenith, so exists a nadir. Hiding won't let me get away from it, so I'm going to accept it. Hong Lu remained placid throughout the entire reveal, as though he was making some innocent commentary about the weather and clouds going by. In fact, watch out for the ones working with the thumb, too. It was Ryoshu who appeared more agitated than he was. The thumb. Oh, that walking brick shithouse from earlier? Lei Hung. You're weirdly worried, Ryoshu. Don't you usually just... It's because he's powerful. Silence descended in the Pelican.
류슈가 누구
Has
보고
Ryushu
실실
ever called
당하다고
anyone
한 거.
straight up powerful
쟤 뭔
before?
사람?
No one replied. Pretty sure the only other time I remember is when we were confronted with the middle. Are we actually meeting Dayu?
사상소 입구에 당도하였습니다.
Has she gone through revivals also? That's why they set up Zurin. Because Black Shade was like sickly and dying, but this world has this revival life insurance. So possible she's had life insurance, but also has now lost herself as a result, like Zurin and Honglu's maidservant. Okay. We've arrived at the venue for the second round of the evaluation. We found ourselves at some kind of deep subterranean area with multiple lifts installed inside it. Some contestants were already rising on those lifts, but most of them had elected to remain down here to quietly, fervently discuss their strategies. As for us, we were slowly getting used to the presence, drawing the attention of every single person in the room the moment we entered.
참가자분들은 각자 승강기를 탄 후 위로 올라와 주시면 됩니다.
Contestants must now each aboard their lists and ascend.
그럼 저희도
Well then, should we get going to?
너무 눈에 띄는 것 같은
I feel like we're
느낌이라 얼른
drawing way too much attention, so let's... But we were stopped by a voice calling us.
여러분이
Big Brother Balyu. Ah,
돼요.
Dayu.
그간 안녕하셨나요?
Have you been well? I'd seen a child who looked just like her a few times in Honglu's memory. I remember her beaming at Honglu as she made a mound of petals with one hand. But now she looked at him with a discernible emotion. A spear in the very same hand.
돼요.
Dayu, I didn't think you'd be participating in the family hierarchy war.
잊으셨나요, 오라버니? 예나 지금이나 저희 집안은 누군가의 밑에 있어야만 건사할 처지였어요.
Have you forgotten that my family cannot exist unless we are in the service of the greater houses?
지금은 설씨 세가에서 칼을 쥐고 있을 뿐입니다.
I am but a blade serving a clan from the Zhu family.
그렇구나. 보천 누나 내에서
I see. For big sister Bao Chai's family.
네.
Yes, I'll be fighting in the service of others to the last of my days. Dayu.
돼요.
Honglu took a step toward her, but she raised a hand and then pushed him away. It was not a threat, but her gesture carried such implicit resoluteness that it brought Honglu to a stop.
나는 곧 대관원을 떠날 거야. 어르신들께서 세상에 나가 좀 더 많은 걸 경험하고 오라 하셨거든.
Dayu, I'll be departing Dongguanyo soon. The elders have commanded me to leave here and experience more of the world. You're leaving Dongguanyo? So you're leaving me now, still refusing to illuminate me with the truths about that day. Why? Why won't you stop smiling like that? Then I hope you'll never come back here again.
한때는 정답게 지내는
We shared an intimate bond once, yet all is for naught.
지금은 하늘에도 땅에도
Now I am unbound by the heavens, unbound by the dirt. Still lies the heart of mine now with emptiness wrought. A blossom may be lovely now, but its wilting sharpens the blades of woe, the blade of hurt. Our meeting never should have come to pass. You always say things that are so difficult and saddening to hear. My own funeral was held long ago, and now having met you for the final time, when we meet our ends here, may we each become a lone thread of formless smoke and be scattered to the wind. With that, Dayu walked away from us.
아, 여러분들께는
Looks like I
소개를
forgot to
못
introduce her to
해드렸네요.
everyone.
어렸을 때 잠시나마
She's someone
인연을
with whom I
맺었다가
had a brief connection in my childhood,
보다시피
though I guess our reunion was made under pretty unfavorable circumstances.
누군가의 호의로 이곳에 왔다.
That she has come here in service of another candidate means that we'll be enemies the next time we meet. Yi Song trailed off without vocalizing that sentiment, and sighed.
인연이란 건 이토록
Connections are such fickle things after all. Hong Lu muttered with a faint hint of loneliness as we entered the grand lift, enclosed by 4 pillars. The lift rises ploddingly, and I looked down. I could see the other candidates still waiting for their lifts, looking up at us. The candidates whose fates may or may not intermingle with our own in this battle. Yi Bao Yu, you will never leave this place alive. No matter what it takes, we will cut off your head, no matter what it takes. Someone screams bitterly from beneath us, but the lift does not stop. Young Hong Lu,
우리가 앞으로 만나게
are
될
we to
자들은
battle the villains henceforth in this quest? Are we to... Yeah.
저들에게는
But to
저희가
them, we
악인
are the
것이
villains.
그렇다면 저희에게도 저들은 악인 것일까요?
Then are they to be evil in our eyes? It's a distinction without a difference. Well, whichever the case, I'm pretty sure that trying to draw a clear line between enemies and allies won't mean much. Seeing though we finally arrived at our destination as the lift slowed down, we were greeted by a sight. We were greeted by a sight that at first glance appeared as though it belonged outside, but we are still clearly within the confines of Hongyuan. Underneath the blue sky were 2 metal gates leading into a massive looming structure, red lights flickering ominously around the building. Looks like they decorated this huge space to look like the outside. I can't even fathom how much money they must have poured into this project. Family Hierarchy Evaluations Round 2. A disembodied voice echoed within the bus. Begins now. The door to the lift that carried us up here closed shut. Oh, I finally recognize where we are. You've been here before? This place is the site of the former H Corp that was once headed by the Kong family.
아직 그때의 상처가 채 아물지 않은 곳일 텐데.
This place still bleeds from the wounds that made them. I wonder if we will be spilling fresh blood over them today. We are surrounded by the loud, crowded bustle of the teeming audience. Is Hong Lu smiling still, as he always has since our first meeting? I turn around and face him, only to see a much younger Hong Lu. The deep sorrow in the child's eyes was about to overflow, as if he was ready to burst into tears. Something happened. Something happened here, in this place, potentially with Lin Naiu as well. Something that Hong Lu, that made him snap. Into what he is now. The happy-go-lucky carefreeness. And overlaps with maybe why his brother with the Annen Corp Association, why he was angry, of like, why didn't you help him kind of question, and why Daiyu is also upset with him. And then there's also the Kong family overlap with apparently the other elder Geo brother who is part of the Kong family. Like, okay, there's like layers to this, and it's all just family drama.